Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. Today I have some classic crime book reviews for you. That is an absolute mouthful. I love my mystery fiction, and I know you do too. You often love detective fiction and talk to me all about it in the comment section, which I love. So today I've got 3 mysteries to share with you. That was a little sneak peek, wasn't it? I'm going to do my best to leave links to the books in the description bar below, and should we just crack on with it? So, first of all, we have one of the British Library crime classics, absolute mouthful. That is the Chatham Square Murder by John Bude. I've read a John Bude before and I really enjoyed that one. This one, it was alright. So this is set in Cheltenham, funnily enough. It's called the Chatham Square Murder, and it's about these set of houses. If you've never been to Cheltenham before, it's a Georgian spa town, so it's beautiful, beautiful. Think like Bath, and it looks a bit like that. And it's about a set of houses that are kind of like in a square, so that you get houses like that are opposite each other. Shocking. And it's about someone that gets murdered that's in one house, and they get murdered via an arrow from like a house on the opposite side and goes whoosh and kills someone, as you do. Do you like my little demonstration? And then we have Superintendent Meredith, who comes and investigates the murder. Now, I, for the most part, actually really enjoyed this book. I found it quite engaging. I was quite addicted to it. I really like the fact that it's set in Cheltenham. Cheltenham's a place I've been to many a time. As you know, I've gone to Cheltenham Literature Festival each year. I've also been there shopping. It's not very far from me at all. And I love Cheltenham, so I could envisage the scene and the murder and all that type of thing. I liked the various different characters and their different personalities. Some people might say there was too many characters, but I don't necessarily agree. I quite liked it. Once you kind of got into the sphere of how many there were, it was all right. And I liked how immersed I was and how addicted to the story I was and how much I wanted to keep reading it. But then I put it down, and then when I tried to pick it back up for the last 60 pages, so literally the reveal, I just really struggled and I felt really sluggish with it, and I don't know why. I just couldn't get back into it, and I just wasn't bothered who did it by the end. I think it's one of these books that if I had just carried on reading it and finished it in one sitting, actually I would have really enjoyed it, but I can't do that very often. I'm a really slow reader, so I had to put it down to go to bed. And then I just couldn't get back into it. So as much as I enjoyed the writing and enjoyed the setting and all that type of thing, the last 60 pages just really put me off, and I was just so sluggish with it. I don't know why. So if you are someone who really likes murder mysteries and you can read them in one sitting, then I would actually recommend this. But for me, I can't do it. I'm rubbish. I'm just really slow. I'm just a slow reader. So yeah, I kind of, star-wise, I'd give that 3. You know, it was all right. It was all right. Okay, so next up we have Gordy Knight by Dorothy L. Sayers. If you follow me on Instagram, you know all about all these books anyway, because I shoved them up there. And so many of you were saying how much you love this book and it's your favourite Sayers and stuff on Instagram. Now, I had kind of given up a little bit on Dorothy L. Sayers because I read Whose Body a few years ago, and I wasn't that keen. Not gonna lie, wasn't that keen on it. Didn't think it was, you know, that great or anything. And then a few people kept telling me, read Gordy Knight, don't give up, read Gordy Knight, read Gordy Knight. I had Gemma from Nonfic Books and Whiskey Woodhouse. She's got 2 channels. And then I had a load of you lovely viewers who said, don't give up on it, read Gordy Knight. And thank you, if you're one of those people tell me to read Gordy Knight, thank you so much, because I really enjoyed this. So this is set in Oxford. We are at Harriet Vane, who is a detective crime writer. We're at her college, and she's there for a Gordy Night. So she's there essentially to have a bit of a reunion with old students and old academics. And, you know, the night happens, and yeah, it's fine. And then she finds poisoned pen letters, and they're not very nice. And then it turns out it's not just her, and there's various other people having these poisoned pen letters. Now, because the college doesn't want any bad press, they say to Harriet, because she writes detective fiction, she's been involved in crime before, can you stick around and find out what's going on if possible? And she's like, yeah, okay. So she sticks around, but then things get a bit more serious, and you know, these poison pen letters just have bigger consequences to them. So in the end she asks for Lord Peter Wimsey's help, and he comes in to investigate. Now that is the mystery, but that isn't actually the main plot of the book. The main plot of the book is the relationship between Harriet Vane and Lord Peter Wimsey, and this kind of will they, won't they, will they, won't they. I loved it so flipping much. I adored the setting. I thought the setting was amazing. I love any book set at university, as you know. I also loved the writing. The writing of this was really different because I remember Whose Body, I thought the writing was good, but I thought, oh, it's not my sort of thing. But this, I absolutely adored it. I thought it could sit up there as like in, you know, women's fiction of the period, like an Angela Thirkell or a Barbara Pym, you know, Elizabeth Taylor, those types of women authors. I thought actually Dorothy R. Sayers could sit quite happily with those. I thought it was beautiful, beautiful writing style and really addictive, despite the fact that it's a real big chunky monkey book. Actually, it's a real addictive writing. And I just absolutely flew through it. In the end though, I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, just because this is my first book coming to it with Harriet Vane. And I don't know anything really about the backstory to Harriet and Lord Peter Wimsey. So my plan is, I have bought some beautiful, beautiful books, Folio Society editions of Dorothy L. Sayers' works, which there will be a video for you. Once it's up, I'll put it up here somewhere. And I'm going to go back a little bit and I'm going to read Strong Poison, which is the first one, I believe, that Harriet Vane comes into the Lord Peter Wimsey novels, where she is accused of murder, I think. And I'm going to go back there and then carry on from there onwards. And hopefully, when I get round to rereading this, it will be a 5-star read, because then I will be invested in their relationship. So I did really, really enjoy this and would highly recommend it. I would actually say this is probably a good place to start with Sayers, because it's the best of everything. It's the best of her writing, and it's the best characters. Harriet Vane is, oh, she's an absolute brilliant character. I prefer her to Lord Peter Wimsey, I have to say. I just love her. I love her sass. She's just wonderful. So yes, thank you so much to all you lovely viewers who said to me, read Gordy Knight. So thank you, because I'm really, really happy that I read it. I loved it. And then finally, we have a book that technically isn't a classic, but I think it's a classic of the future. It's from 1987, and it is A Touch of Frost by R.D. Wingfield. This book I loved. We have everything in this book. We actually start off with Frost going to public toilets to find a body, a man that has been murdered. We have a rapist on the loose that leaves no evidence at all to work out who they are. We have robberies and we have kidnapping. We've got everything all on the go that Frost is trying to investigate all of these crimes. And it's just wonderful. I read it in literally 2 sittings. I had to put it down because I had to go to sleep. But whenever I could read this and whenever I had the chance to, I did, because it's just wonderful. I was so immersed in it that I was getting a little bit jumpy and a bit scared when I was reading it, and I could hear any little noise that the house was making. It's just brilliant. The writing of this is very special because it's not like the murder mysteries that I've read before, because once you're in it, you're just so addicted. It's addictive as like, for me, like a woman's fiction, you know, when you're like, oh, I want to learn about the love story. It's like that. The pacing of it is fantastic. Frost is always on the go, on the go, on the go. He has no time to blink, and you're journeying here. You're with him for the journey. It's so brilliant. When I read the first one, Frost at Christmas, I imagined a different character. In this one, I actually imagined David Jason, because there is this level of humour in this book that I think is absolutely divine. Now, I know R.D. Wingfield said David Jason's Frost isn't his Frost, but the humour in this novel, I couldn't help but think of David Jason, because David Jason's Frost is quite humorous. You might be able to see, but I tabbed a little bit here that I want to share with you. So in my copy, on page 85, we are at the hospital, and Frost has just been interviewing someone, and he's with a policeman, and he's kind of flirting a little bit with the interviewee. And as I said, they've just been to this public toilet to find the body of a murdered man. So here we go. "Stay away from him, love," Frost called after her. "He meets men in toilets after dark." "To Shelby," the policeman. He said, "You want to try and stay off it for 5 minutes, son. It can make you go blind." Shelby grinned nervously. "Just passing the time, sir. I'm a respectable married man." "So was Dr. Crippen," sniffed Frost. If you don't know who Dr. Crippen is, Google it. But yeah, it's just wonderful. I loved the level of humour. I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. Now you might be thinking, why is it not worth the 5 stars? And it's not to say that it isn't worth 5 stars, because I do think it genuinely is a 5-star book, but I think there are 6 books in the Frost series, and I don't want to give this 5 stars and then read another one and be like, oh, actually, I think that one's better than this one, if it's possible. So yeah, to start with, draw in pencil, a 4.5, possibly a 5-star, but yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, go read it. It's great. So there we have it. Those are 3 sort of classic crime book reviews for you to share. Hopefully one of these at least has taken your fancy. If so, let me know in the comment section down below. I am always after recommendations of some classic crime authors that I should be reading and checking out. Let me know what you want me to be reading next. I'm really on the crime binge at the moment. I'm reading a lot of crime fiction, so your recommendations would be very, very helpful. So that is it for today's video. Take care, and I shall see you soon for my next one. Bye for now.